G'day everyone. What I'd like you to think about doing is making what I call a graffiti piece. But your piece has to have a message. I'd love to see you create a piece that belongs to this current time period. So it's what's happening in the here and now. Let's say someone in 50 years could look back at your masterpiece and know that the art you created expressed your cultural time. It's what you as a teenager was thinking, saying, doing, what you're interested in. You have the power to write, or what I mean is draw, history. It's pretty cool. Come on, this is your opportunity. Tell the public what you're thinking. Before you make a start, have a hunt around in your area and have a look for graffiti. Do you think the graffiti is going to be legal or illegal? Have a look around, even online, and find an example of street art. Again, do you think the street artwork, do you think it's legal or illegal? One of the artists I came across was a street artist called Banksy. What caught my eye is I really like the simplicity of his line work or his shapes, and some of these pieces are just simply outlined. There's not a lot of small detail, and there's some of his pieces have a sign included. So the use of text can be a really powerful piece of art in a work. As you have a look at work, have a think about your elements and principles of art. What element do you think is the strongest? What effect does it have? And it's the same for the principle. Do you think they have a message? And where is this going to go in your work? Think about your symbolism that you're going to use in your work. So that's putting an image or a shape, and it has a particular meaning that you are trying to get across or that you want your viewer to see. Think about the color that you're going to use. Are you actually going to even use color? What's going to be the meaning of your work? What are you going to try to communicate? You need to start to consider formally your elements and principles of art when you're making your piece. Are you going to use a stencil? Do you know what a stencil is? Are you going to create a tag for your piece of work? If you're not sure what a tag is, I'd suggest you could have a go at looking it up. What about including text? And in my piece, you can see I've included text. Text can be really helpful for people to understand your work. What about a paste up? Paste ups, I've seen them, they're great as well. They can be cool to help you out with your work. Think about the surfaces. What are you going to use? Come on, girls and guys, think outside the square. I kid you not, I found this large piece of cardboard. Actually, I found two pieces of cardboard on the side of the road. And then once I was walking the dog, and when I got home, I drove back and picked it up. I actually saw there was a wooden chair there as well. So I thought that could be handy. So think about what sort of surface that you would like to use. If you're going to use white paper, that's fine. But what about adding some newspaper? What about shopping receipts, movie tickets, whatever you can get your hands on? Think about the size of your work. If you're trying to show an importance to something, you might think about making it larger. The reason I did mine so big, and it's probably about 1.20 meters high, is that I wanted to relay the two figures in there. One of them is me and one of them is my husband. And then I wanted to just adopt the larger approach of some of the street art, what it can have. Think about what medium that you're going to use. It's important to think about that as you're creating your work. For example, in my piece, I had 3 black markers to choose from. I had a 0.4 fine liner, which wasn't thick enough when I had to play before I started. And then I had a black paint pen, and it was actually too thick. So I found a permanent marker, which was fine. That's what I had to go at playing with. And you'll see in the drawing that what I've actually done is I've done the drawing and then I've actually gone over the areas that I wanted to thicken up. Okay, so while I've been chatting, you've been watching me create my street art image. Damn, don't I look awesome? I look like a fantastic drawer. Actually, I'm okay at drawing, but I've made myself look awesome. Now, the reason I've done this is I wanted to show you and I wanted to talk about technology. I took a lot of photos using technology to get what I wanted. Sometimes when I want a photo of something in particular, I actually use a video to film the scene, and then I go back and find the shot that I want. I then used my iPad technology and I projected the image onto the cardboard, which is taped onto the wall, and then I drew it with a pencil and film myself with my phone. So technology and technology. Now I filled that while I've gone over it with a permanent marker. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to be a good drawer to do art. Believe me when I tell you that it definitely does help, But you don't have to be a good drawer. You can be successful using technology, using your imagination, using your creativity to come up with something for yourself. Okay, so I'm getting a bit excited about the whole use of technology. So let's recap what it is that you have to think about when you're making your work. You need to think about your symbolism. You need to think about your elements and your principles. You really need to think about what message it is that you're trying to get across, and it really needs to relate to your current cultural time, what is happening in the here and now. Things to think about: stencils, tags, text and paste ups, surfaces and mediums. So what I would actually do is I will sit down and I would what I call vomit on the page, and I'd write all that stuff down. Nothing is wrong. You can write it down, and then what you need to do is, after you vomited, you need to clean it up. So then you can start to organize your thoughts as to what it is that you want to do. At the moment, we're not in the classroom, but mate, I'm super excited to see what you come up with. If we could slap together a bit of an exhibition by putting our artwork together on display when we get back to school, I'd love to see your intention and have a chat about what it is that you have tried to create. Okay, so good luck with your artwork. Please like, share, or subscribe to my video.